And welcome back to Otaku No Video. As always, thank you very much for joining me for my review of Dramacon, the Amerimanga by Svetlana Chmakova, I think. I'm probably terribly mispronouncing that name, but that's okay. That's just the way it is over here. This is an Amerimanga, as I mentioned, and so the first question is, does it suck? Because apparently all Amerimanga suck. It does not suck. In fact, this is one of my little fan favorite manga. It's one of those things I just really cherish. I read it and was really sucked in. Basic premise is it's about a high school girl who goes to her first anime convention. She's collaborating on a comic, and she's there as one part of a comic. And it's about her experiences there, and the story follows her over the course of 3 years of this anime convention, because she meets a mysterious guy and kind of falls for him, and so there's a whole back and forth about what that means when she's fallen for a guy that lives way far away, other side of the country basically. And so, you know, only seeing this guy occasionally, it's quite an interesting premise. Especially because it happens at an anime convention, which is one of the real core aspects of the manga, is that it does a very good job of establishing what an anime convention is like, how it's chaotic, there's lots of stuff going on, there's always, you know, whatever you're doing, there's 10 other things going on that you're missing, and that ties in with a story, especially a romance type story, in terms of having things happen to you that you can't predict and you can't control, and trying to go with that. One of the big themes, and is an important lesson for the character and for all of us. So the characters themselves are impressively distinctive. They all feel realistic, while at the same time fulfilling their specific roles in the story. In any kind of shoujo story, you've got, you know, your main characters and your side characters, and they have to kind of fill certain roles in the story. And they all feel distinctive. They all have specific ways of speaking. Some are more laid back, whatever, without turning into like regional dialects or anything like that. It's very natural, but it really works. The characters are very quickly recognizable. And moreover, they are human. Nobody falls into a specific archetype and is just that person. We all know these people like this. They're very familiar. And the dialogue, as a result, is very snappy, because these characters are bouncing off each other in very specific ways. So the writer doesn't have to really struggle as hard as someone who has kind of cookie cutter characters. The scenes move very quickly. There's actually a lot happens in this, and it does move very quickly. And because this is shoujo, a lot is communicated through dialogue. It's a very dialogue-driven, character-driven story. So you know, that's a key, that dialogue really, really works to communicate who is who and what their takes are on the various situations, because these characters are often going to each other for advice and talking to each other. So the fact that works, key for shoujo. As I mentioned, a lot happens here. This is a very taut story, and I want to give the author great credit for that. Most shoujo I've read tends to have a lot of padding, or a lot of kind of drawn out stuff. This keeps moving, especially because it was originally 3 volumes, each of which is 3 days at an anime convention. So stuff is happening very quickly. And of course, characters are going through a lot emotionally through that. The artwork is, in my opinion, the best Amerimanga artwork I've seen. It is attractive, it is effective, and it tells the story. And I don't mean that just in terms of having the characters there. It's very important in an Amerimanga to understand the medium you're working in. Different styles, different ways of drawing somebody mean certain things in manga. And in this one, the artist really does a great job of expressing that. Chibi is used in very specific situations for comedy and things like that. And there's a lot of shifting between different artistic styles depending on the character's moods. That's a very, not just logical, but a very valid way of telling a story in manga, and of telling especially a shoujo style story. So again, that's kind of distinctive, that the artist is well versed enough in it to really use that style very effectively to tell the story. If the character is sad, they look sad. If they're happy, they look happy. Without resorting to over-the-top artistic stuff of, rain clouds and things like that, although you even see that. But again, it's understanding how to use the medium effectively. And especially this is important in a very emotional story and one that is kind of chaotic. Again, anime conventions are chaotic. So that really works very well for this story. Again, I don't want to get into the whole story to spoil anything, but because of the ups and downs of it, really the effectiveness of this story is in how well you relate to the characters and how well you feel for what the girl's going through and what the other characters are going through. For me, I was sucked in, no question. I devour this manga. So, Dramacon is available in one single volume, originally released in 3 slimmer volumes. You can get the whole thing all at once over here, and I, for one, hope you do.